Namita, you were involved in the Pink Panties campaign. Could you tell us a bit about it, how it came about, how serious it was?
The Pink Chaddi campaign was started by something called the Consortium of Pub-Going Loose and Forward Women. It was a group that was formed on Facebook. Um, Actually, I signed on just as a participant initially, and then later on, since a lot of the action was centered around Bangalore, my organization got involved as a collection point for the pink panties to be sent
How many
to.
did you all collect?
We collected about, I would say, almost around 1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
But just by way of background, I mean, if you could explain, what it means.
Okay. The group was formed as a response to the attacks that were engineered by the Sri Ram Sene and by Pramod Mutalik on women who were going to pubs,
Yeah.
saying that
These
it's
are
not.
conservative religious groups, basically.
Yeah, so conservative religious groups, or in the context of Karnataka,
Yeah, yeah.
recent communalization, the fact that the Hindu right is trying to produce this monolithic idea of Indian culture
Okay.
is problematic at various levels.
Okay.
But this group was formed basically in response to the fact that women were attacked,
Yeah.
and probably the only thing that all the 40,000 members of the group agree on,
45,000.
45,000 members of the group agree on, is that they don't think that women should be attacked,
Yeah.
and that violence in some ways is not part of Indian
Yeah.
culture. And so,
Also, the discriminatory treatment between men and women, like it seems to be that men can go to pubs but women can't.
yeah, and yeah, so basically it's a response to that violent attack, images of which were flashed on television all across the
But
country.
why send these guys pink panties? What's the logic of that?
Yeah, the logic is that well, we know them as the khaki chaddi walas
Okay.
in some sense. So it's the pink chaddi is a response to the khaki chaddi. It is in some ways a
Yeah,
frivolous
yeah, yeah.
idea, but I
Ironic,
think
satirical.
it's satirical, and it's a unexpected response more than anything. I think they expect the women's movement to wear black bands and get onto the streets and carry out marches.
Which is old hat.
Which is a tried and tested model. It has its effectiveness, but it's becoming less and less
Ceases to
effective.
shock, ceases to make an impact.
Yeah, and ceases to get new people into
Okay.
the into what you're protesting against. So it is a frivolous response,
Yeah.
and it is about using humor and levity
Yeah.
to engage with the
With a
Hindu
serious
right,
point.
with
To
a
make a
serious,
serious
to
point.
make a serious statement.
But would you say that this is the way that young people kind of can identify more with in terms of campaigns,
Um,
rather than something very serious, street protest or whatever? This is something unusual. Facebook, a combination of Facebook with a ludicrous idea, is something that attracts people.
I would agree with the fact that this ludicrous idea has a certain appeal.
Yeah.
That it is online also accesses a different kind of population as well, which is not usually part of your activism or your protests,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it does have a certain currency.
Yeah.
I would think it's not about youth or young people as such, because
Yeah.
the attack is on young people.
Yeah.
These are young people whose behavior is being attacked and
I
saying
see.
that you are not part of Indian culture. I think maybe if it was any other issue, maybe a ludicrous
Okay.
idea online might have appealed to
I
different
see. I see. I see. Not necessarily
kinds.
young. Yeah.
Not necessarily. But young people have a certain ease with being online
That's
that
true. That's true.
maybe other generations don't.
So
But
how did the campaign move in that sense? Faster than you all expected?
the campaign moved way faster than we expected. We didn't even expect it to have such broad appeal. We probably thought that us and a few friends of ours, as usually happens at a protest, would
Yeah.
turn up and send their pink chaddis. And it was also a way of acting out our anger and resentment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It suddenly exploded
Yeah.
beyond all expectations. It went from 8,000 to 16,000 in the course of a day, and then
I see.
it's been growing since then.
The media impact also was huge in that sense, and that
Yeah.
helped the campaign.
Yeah.
Media tends to pick up on these frivolous things, so
Yeah,
so-
and I guess and the media wants a Valentine's Day story
Yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah.
Feb 14th, and this is a
something
convenient
totally
one.
unusual. Maybe at a
Yeah.
global level, it's unusual also.
Yeah, so um, yeah, so it grew radically, way beyond expectation. The media coverage was so intense that we had about 10 media vans at one point sitting outside.
OB vans
Yeah, 2 or 3
I see.
live. Yeah,
outside
coverage
where?
outside our office in
I see.
Bangalore,
Okay.
and
This is the alternative law forum.
yeah, and that was completely unexpected because we were at that point tangentially involved. We
I
were
see.
a collection point,
Yeah.
and there was no one at that point to even
I see.
speak to the
I see.
media or to make sense of it. And during the next couple of days, everyone got their act together and started picking up on the fact that it's becoming sensational, and we should also utilize this momentum in some way. It began as a personal act, I would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
and it snowballed because a lot of people seem to think that this was a way that they would like to respond to
Yeah.
Pramod Mutalik.
You've been a lawyer basically working on civil liberties, human rights issues.
Yeah.
How does that work tie up with this? What is the signal you get from this kind of campaigning that there's a whole new ball game out there waiting to be tried, or what?
Yeah, I would say that there is a whole new terrain of possibilities that has opened up because of online activism. I don't necessarily see that there is such a great connection with other work that ALF is doing. ALF is involved in cases regarding the attacks on churches in Karnataka. I don't think necessarily these two groups speak to each other, but at the same time, both of them are extremely valuable
I see.
and extremely valuable ways of protesting the increasing communalization of life and politics in
Yeah,
Karnataka.
yeah, yeah. There was a threat of these groups to send you all, pink saris in
Yeah.
return. What happened to that? You got
On
any
Feb
saris?
14th, we got saris. The threat was that they would collect saris from different parts of
Yeah,
Karnataka and send it to us, but we got only six
only
saris.
6.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
and six new saris.
I
They
see.
want particularly old saris or collected saris.
What do you all plan to do next? Will the campaign go offline on
Um,
into the real world?
I think the campaign is sort of participating in the real world and is making an impact in politics in a way that many other groups haven't been able to do so. But where the campaign goes now is a question that's up for grabs. I think it's difficult to find something that 40,000, 45,000 people agree on, and I guess it has to be seen. This isn't a regular activist terrain where people can make these decisions, and maybe this 45,000 people is just a group of well-meaning people that will take on actions maybe next Valentine's Day next year, or maybe they will take on actions next time there is an attack, or maybe they will proactively do something to
Yeah.
protest their dissent to politics that divides people.
Thank you so much.
Thank